Hey, Phil from Got Memories here. So this is a typical case of what I explained to everybody about all these videotapes where, customers are like, yeah, but there's only like 47 minutes on it, like, or there's only an hour and 28, or there's only, I don't know how many minutes or whatever. And I go, you know what? I wish, I keep eyeballs, I supervise, and I looked over, and this is a classic case of exactly what I talk about. This has been recorded from multiple sources, and this is in EP mode. So there's like 6 hours. It's high school basketball footage. And, it's artifacty, if that's a word. It's just it's fine to the average person. They're like, but then you've got these, then other customers are like, no, and I am OCD about this stuff. So this whole tape's got to be redone. And this is a 6-hour long tape. And look, the moment it goes over to whatever is recorded afterwards, what's this? Anyway, so all of a sudden the game ends. Now it's onto something else, right? Look at this. Audio's crap. You've got that static line right there. Audio comes in. Now you've got this entire section here with this static through the middle, which is just unwatchable. I mean, it is watchable, but it's like, no. And then you see where I come in, I turn, I look over and I see this.
It was good because you come out here and people just...
And then I've just hit the track-in, right? So this is coming from like a different aligned VCR from the previous VCR. But look, I'm rewinding this bit. I look over and I see this. And I'm like, crap. Then it's nice and clean. So what I have to do is now stop the VCR, because it's perfectly fine, but I've got to then, really and truly, I've got to redo this whole tape, because that at the middle bit there, because at the beginning it was absolutely fine. Yeah, it's perfectly fine, but as it progresses, it's got this crap in here. You see it? And it could be the tape, it could be the player, it could be, whenever it's recorded from VCR to VCR to VCR. And this is why, I'm using Elgato, go on and on about in my videos, this is all about file efficiency. If you're doing this using, up-resin and all this stuff, you just can't manage all of this stuff economically in terms of time and cost. So what I do here, I'm going to cut it. So I've cut that bit. So I've got the first clip here, HB7. Okay, takes a little bit of time. See, it's already rendered. Boom. That's why, of all the programs out there. So then I call this HB. This is the customer's first and last name, 7-2. All right, so this is already rolling. What I have to do is rewind the tape now for the next couple minutes to where this bit begins. See, there's the bit there that I caught. So it's only a minute or two's worth of stuff. I caught it, luckily. That's why I'm always scanning the room. Literally looking over my shoulder. I'm 360 in here. Because if I don't catch it, I got to do all this crap. Here we go. Look, this is where it's beginning. Okay, so look, watch this. See, this is all off track here. Then someone's recorded over some TV stuff. And there's no audio at the beginning. And then they're finally getting there.
Yeah! 1, 2, 3. Here we go.
Okay.
Guard the dribble and...
So I got to rewind. Now I have to capture this bit this section here, which could go on for hours. There could be multiple different recordings on there. Okay, there's no audio. Okay, now that's going to go on for how long? Then I got to take that first segment, which I'm going to redo anyway, because I just don't like that static in the middle. And this is what you must be doing if you're transferring, you know, you've got a business. You've got to be checking this stuff. And this is why you pay somebody very well to do this stuff. There aren't many of us out there in the world doing it like this, okay? Because I never want to see these videotapes again, ever. The same videotape again, ever in my life. The most nicest possible way. I never want to see the same videotape done. Look over here. This here. This is happening. So you got to tap. So look here. Yeah, and this has been like this since the beginning. I just triggered my memory. I ran this on multiple players. This was the best picture I could get because they've recorded it from a camcorder tape onto a VHS tape that was a problematic VHS, or is there alignment issues? Multiple different VCRs they've added onto it. It's just an absolute clusterfuck. All of this stuff is a potential clusterfuck. Excuse my French, but it is just old. 2025, the average age of tapes is 35 years old and hasn't been played in 35 years. These players, average age of a VCR is 25, 30 years old in here. The older ones perform better because the later years into the early 2000s, they were just plastic, cheap crap, low quality. So, but if you're digitizing your videotapes and you've recorded them from camcorder tapes, 100% go from the camcorder tapes. Because the VHS tapes that have been recorded by just haphazard, dirty VCRs, 28 years ago, here I am having to undo and diagnose all of this stuff blindfolded. Everything I do when people are calling or wanting quotes, that's why I need pictures. I need as much information as possible to know what condition. A lot of people see that I go, is it blue screen? Or is the tape just gone bad? And there's telltale signs that you check. See, the fade out right there is the telltale sign. And then you hit fast forward. And if that's flashing black screen and static and stuff, that means the head's gone dirty. It got dirty. Got to take it apart, clean the video head. And then, re-cue it, rewind blindly. I mean, people think you can just scan through a file that quickly, like a digital copy. You think, you can just scan through a VHS tape, like whip, whip, whip. No, holding that. If you rewind, if you got a 2-hour tape and you hit rewind, fast forward, just hit play and then hit fast forward and just scan in, that'll take about 30 minutes of your finger just going for 2-hour tapes, around about 4 speed. This one right here, there's a note on it. Masters, and then a 49th birthday party. And I'm like, usually it's like this home movie stuff's at the beginning and then it's TV at the end. No, Masters is at the beginning and then the 49th birthday party is at the end. I have fast forwarded and rewinded that tape blindly, trying to find it. And in the end, I'm like, you know what? Just hit play, let it roll. I'm 39 minutes in right now. And this is 2 hours 18 into the thing. So I just let it roll and then capture it and then delete, edit out the TV recordings afterwards. This one right here is mini DV. This has got problems with it potentially when it goes. What you're looking for with mini DV is what you look for with mini DV is bars across the screen and pixelation before the blue screen happens. That'll tell you the heads are dirty because you see blue screen. It doesn't mean the footage is done. It means potentially it's done, but potentially the heads are clogged. And the way that you look for that is you scrub back throughout the last 30 to 60 seconds of the capture and hit play and listen for the choppy audio, look for the choppy picture. And then you go, oh, shit, now I got to rewind. I got to clog the heads, unclog the heads. Then it will clog again and again and again, and people are like, oh, it just plays, it just works. No, it doesn't. You have no idea what's involved here. Look at this. Oh, for God's sake. That was going TV. It was home movies, TV. Now it's back to home movies again. So that's why you always let it roll. Oh, crap. And look at this. It's like all skew-iffy. That's usually when people are moving. When you see that, it's like the stomping, like an old CD player. You had skipping if you jolt it. Same with videotapes. What is this? This is still going. So you got to play detective. You got to play engineer, repairman, mechanic, consoler, because people call you, and they've got their stories and it's their life. And a lot of people like to kind of reminisce a little bit when they're looking at these old videotapes. Moments like this, where you're seeing dark footage, shot in a dark room, but I adjust it a little bit. But then in the blink of an eye, it can be, they're at the beach and now it's all blown out. So this one is done potentially, but the VCR is shut down. So that means possibly that the videotape has got stuck, or there's something going on with it, or the footage has just ended. But you got to check it. So that's going to render right now. Again, Elgato, for just analog stuff, I've been doing this 22 years. This is the best bit of kit that is just stable, reliable, fast, and gives file efficient sizes. 800 megabytes per hour. Bit rate is lower. It plays absolutely fine. It looks good. I did my own home movies like it. You can be getting back from some companies ridiculous file sizes. If you've got a 6-hour EP videotape and it's, 8 to 13 gigs per hour for up-res stuff, you can't use a USB drive. Any file size over 4.3 gigs in size will not fit on a USB drive. It won't allow that. So you've got to use big chunky, old school hard drives. And then trying to upload that to the cloud and trying to edit it and trying to import it into your computer. You've got 200-300 terabytes of footage and your mum's got 40 gigabytes of space on her iPad. That's not going to work. You've got to spend money again to down-res it. And this is one I have to redo sometimes, some ridiculous file sizes people have given me that someone got transferred stuff years ago. And I got to run it through iSky Converter to dumb it down. And it makes really maybe the noticeable difference, to the untrained eye. It doesn't make any difference. The only thing it makes a difference to is time. And time is money. So I'm going to check this because it shut down the VCR and sometimes it'll get stuck. I'll fast forward it. It's snow, eject. There we go. Boom. Just small little things like that you've got to do. And then also, companies out there, people shopping around. Just what I did right there. I use the customer's first and last name initials, right, for the file names. If I do this one into this, someone's getting someone else's home movies. You've got to be so dialed in. I hear stories again and again from all these tons of companies all the time. I've got other people's stuff back. I've got other people's tapes back. I've got other people's files. Some of them are mine. Some of them are missing. I've got other people's stuff. Just look at all this. This is all individuals. So this all has to go to the correct person. All the videotapes have to be tagged with the customer's ID. There's a lot to this. This is an art form. This is why I've got that curtain up there with the front door locked. I'm in a retail complex. If I hear that door going and my phone is in airplane mode right now and I am scanning the room, and you have to stay dialed in. It's like being an air traffic controller. I mean, in a way that, once you get tired, you've got to take a break. You've got to stop because you can start to mess things up. Everybody's stuff is important to them. It all has to be separated. It all has to be 100%. It can't be 99.8% correct. Everything. 97 videotapes. There are going to be 97 files. And then when you are done with the job, you have to make sure there's 97 tapes. Look at this. This is going. Not that I am recording this, but this is what happens to these old videotapes. And this is recorded off the TV. This more than likely isn't recorded that way, but, you know, I start to see that static and I'm like, uh-oh. Oh, it's back again. But all I'm looking for is the 49th birthday party. But I've got to run this tape for 3-4 hours to do. I just don't have the time, just the mental capacity to be sitting there going and un-effing people's, you know, haphazard stuff. Which, you know, over the years, you know what happens. You had VCRs, you had tapes, hit play, hit record, record over your wedding tape with an episode of Friends. It happens all the time. But what's up, Wednesday boy? And there's birdies. Those of you familiar with the channel, these are the boys. Isn't that right, birds? He's like, I just kind of want to go and play ball. We will in a bit, okay? Anyway, that's me ranting over with today. Yeah, it's just I got a lot on. All right, cheers.